Hello, good evening, everybody. How's things? Good evening. You hear me okay? Apparently they changed some of the back-end stuff here. I was just fumbling around for a few minutes there, like, what the hell am I supposed to be doing? Hello. I can see chat. We're good. Hello from sunny Florida. Hello, Florida. Good morning from Osaka. Hello. The background with all sort intercessor is awesome. Yeah, I'm working on it. Hello from Ireland. Hello, all of you nerd. Good evening. Howdy to New Zealand. Hello, Marius. Hello, Brad Francis. What's happening? I'm going to be painting a bit of Death Company. I've actually spent quite a lot of today working on this guy. He's got a ways to go yet, but he's starting to come together. So I spent like a good, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours at least on this guy today. So yeah, a bit to go yet, but I think I'm liking the direction he's going. Hoping that this weekend I can maybe get some child free time and get a bit more time to fire into him. I would like to have Dante finished. He's been lingering around for too long. So, I also started working on this guy. I'm going double Redemptor Dreadnought on my next list. So, barely did anything on this guy. But I did. He does have 2 colors on him now, red and black. So we just need 1 more color on him and he's tournament legal. He has got based as well, so, like, the absolute bare minimum for tournament legal, right? But hey, that was a pretty useful piece off the Battle Predator. Like that. Free-handed on an X. Don't judge me with how bad this X is. It was free-handed. I figured to myself I was going to make a mask, because I normally make masks for painting Death Company X's. And I was like, the Demon Skull is sweet. Thanks, dude. So I had Colin, you know, from my stream. He gave me the head of a Bloodthirster. So I had the head of a Bloodthirster, and I also had the head of a Keeper of Secrets from him. So I was kind of debating actually if I could fit both heads, the Keeper of Secrets and the Bloodthirster, onto Dante's base. But I ended up going with just the Bloodthirster's head is on Dante's base. I mean, that makes sense for the core and stuff. And then I've just put the Keeper of Secrets. Is it Keeper of Secrets? No, sorry, not Keeper of Secrets. The Lord of Change. I'm lying to you. So I put the Lord of Change head on this Ballistus Dreadnought. I just wanted to be a little bit different from other Ballistus Dreadnought, so this is a 3D printed cape. I actually used one of the new bits from the new Blood Angels upgrade sprue here. This is from the new Blood Angels upgrade sprue. I believe this is from the new Blood Angels upgrade sprue. So they're not the greatest pieces, but they're better than nothing. And this oldie is from a Battle Predator. It's a big bird's head, yeah. I'm sure it's the Lord of Change, is it not? I'll probably just use contrast paint on it. I'll probably like basically dry brush it white and then just contrast paint all over it. I mean, most of my Blood Angels stand on the corpses of their enemies, right? So why not? Hey, what a great way to start off the stream. Alex coming in with a new membership. Thank you very much, Alex. We are at 4 members out of the 15 goal we have for November. So good start. Only 6 days into November. That's doing well. So, what's everybody painting tonight? Ollie says he likes the wonky X. It makes me feel as though he simply painted it on the armor before the battlefield. I never even thought about that. When do I run my new list? Next Wednesday night, hopefully. So, I'm trying to think, do I have to paint anything before Wednesday? No, the only thing I need to get any paint on is this guy. Oh, that's a little bit of sandpaper, excuse me. So I just need to give 1 more color to this guy. I can just slap some silver on him or something, or paint some of these chains, and he's ready to go. So next Wednesday night will be the first run out with my new list. I'm not entirely sure. Hello, Disgustingly Resilient. How are you? I'm currently stressed out while clipping Gorgets to fit my Sanguinary Guard. What the hell is a Gorget? So I'm going to do some edge highlighting tonight, which I don't love doing. Oh, goodness me, you've given me a hell of a name to try and say. Mikhail Tessier 1, thank you so much for becoming a member, do appreciate it. If you do become a member, then head over to our Discord, you get access to our members only room. You can join us in there, you know we're active in there pretty much every day. And I've got the Blood Angels tier list coming out this Friday. So if you've been enjoying the 45-minute tactics videos on Fridays, well this Friday, do you know what, I'll tell you how long the video is going to be. It is going to be... This Friday's tactics video is an hour and 38 minutes. So, you know, proper movie length. So, it's a fun one as well, because we're just going to tier list the entire codex. Mark just spent way too long painting the new captain. Do you know what? I've spent way too long working on the new Dante, so... hey, is there such a thing as spending way too long on it, Phil? Because, like, if you spend a lot of time on it, and you're really happy with it, and it looks really good, and you're proud of it, then... Is that not... Then I would say that there's no such thing as way too long. You just spent... Like, it's like that quote from Lord of the Rings. A wizard is never early. They arrive precisely when they mean to be. Because I always spend way too long on my painted models, but then if I'm happy with them, who's to say who spent too long on them? Volkar, thanks so much for the gifted sub tonight. I do appreciate it. I'm gonna say you've gifted the sub to a heretic. He's back. Welcome back to the members room. Disgustingly resilient. I mean, if there was one heretic that was going to get a gifted sub, better him than that Colin guy, eh? It's the first thing I've painted since 2008. Wow, man. I remember the first thing I painted in like 15 years. It was pretty bad. A Gorget is the piece that fits onto the chest armor, protecting the neck. And do the new Sanguinary Guard. Where's the Discord link? Type exclamation mark Discord in chat. I'll do it for you in my bot, assuming he's not gone to sleep. We'll send you the Discord link. Did my combat patrol arrive? Yes, I have my combat patrol now. I haven't actually, I must admit, I haven't opened it. I didn't know anything about Gorgets until 2 seconds ago when Marius just mentioned them. Dante's a centerpiece. If you're going to spend on time on him, who will you spend it on? Yeah, good point.
I have awoken.
Hey, thanks for the other gifted. Do appreciate it, man. It's very kind of you, Volkar. I mean, you hang out in enough streams, Disgustingly Resilient, it's probably fine enough. You know, one day you'll eventually realise your folly and leave those Death Guard. Come back to the light. So I cannot actually remember the last time that I edge highlighted Death Company. I don't think I've done any edge highlighting on a Primaris Death Company before. So I was going to say I'll probably end up making quite a lot of mistakes. I'll go back with black paint afterwards and tidy it all up. But I like my edge highlighting to be somewhat distinct. So the lines might be a little bit thicker than what some other people paint, but I'll just match what the style that I've done in the past. MacPerry says, hey John, is your current list including Mephiston? I only have one Codex game under my belt and he was by far the MVP for me. I've played Mephiston MacPerry in previous editions and he's always been a little bit unreliable. In 9th edition he didn't have any way to reroll psychic tests, I believe, and the generic Psyker was a little bit more powerful. So I am not yet including Mephiston, I must admit. There's a few things I don't like about him, but I can see why some people might really like him. He does have all the rules. I think I was going to say that we've got our tier list coming out on Friday. So there is, I'm sure we placed Mephiston fairly high, I think. I'm not going to spoil where we placed him, but I'm sure we placed him fairly high. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think he's a bad character. I'm not entirely sure he's for me, I guess. Well, we've gone wonky already, so that's good. Hello, Highland Phoenix, how are you doing? Am I running Ballistus Dreadnoughts? Yes, I think the Redemptor Dreadnought's way overcosted. It's got overcosted because of Iron Hands or the Iron Storm Detachment. And honestly, I don't really see Iron Storm Detachment in the meta very much. Maybe people see it in their meta. I don't see many people playing Iron Storm. So I'm not entirely sure if the Redemptor is still like top tier in Iron Storm. But they've sometimes what happens is they do increase units points costs, and then it's almost like they just forget about them, right? The units point costs go up a lot. Games Workshop forget a little bit about them. And then a unit that maybe was competitive suddenly is not competitive and doesn't get any play, and I kind of think that's maybe what happened to the Redemptor Dreadnought. Because the Redemptor Dreadnought was cheaper than a Vindicator tank, and a Vindicator tank has dropped like successively twice. And the Redemptor Dreadnought stayed higher, and I honestly think I would just take a Vindicator tank over a Redemptor Dreadnought every single day of the week. I can't ever see a situation where I think the Redemptor is the better pick. Carl says, sorry about being a negative Nancy. It's water under the bridge, Carl. I don't even remember what you said. It was super negative. So don't even worry about it. I try and breed positivity on the channel. It's probably... I just don't see the point in being overly negative about it. Which is funny, because I know that negativity gets more views and stuff on YouTube, but it's not really me. I'm not a negative person in my general day-to-day life. So I don't really like being negative. When Space Marine 2 came out, I really wanted to make a video that was going to be negative, because I saw there's quite a lot of flaws with Space Marine 2. And I wanted to still be playing it, you know, like, I wanted to still be playing Space Marine 2 now, for example. I must, like, confession, I haven't played Space Marine 2 in, like, probably a month at this point. And I did play the PvP maps for, like, at least 2 or 3 weeks, but, like, I felt like the PvP experience was bland, and I made a video to try and highlight that, but I wasn't very negative in my video, so I guess my video didn't get very much traction, because, like I said, negativity gets views, and now I'm not playing it. So maybe I need to learn that, like, sometimes it is actually good to be negative, but it is what it is. Good evening, Trivial Pursuit, how are you doing? The D3 damage is not great. Well, that's just the thing with Mephiston, right? Like, if you actually math out his damage can be insanely high. Like, possibly the highest of all of our characters. Right? Because he gets, like, a smite with sustained 3. And he gets, like, I was going to say 3 attacks with that? So if you roll 3 6s for a smite, and you do occasionally roll 3 6s, I did it the other week with a heavy bolter and rolled 3 6s, so it gets a bunch of sustained, right? So Mephiston could get sustained 3 from the smite, which gives, what, 12 shots or something? So you're getting 12 shots out from the smite at D3. So, I mean, potentially that's 36 damage. I don't think you're ever going to do anywhere near 36 damage. You're probably going to do 1 damage or 3 damage. But you could do 36 damage with that smite, and then he charges in with his sword that has like 7 attacks, and again, could do like 21 damage. I don't think you're going to do anything like 21 damage. You're going to be lucky to do 5. But you could do, like... So if you just roll like absolute, like if you have like god tier rolls with Mephiston, you could actually do like 50 damage in a turn with him. Like, that's how swingy he is. He is the king of swinginess, I guess. like to a point where like his swinginess is just ridiculous. So I mean, is there a reason to take Mephiston? Yeah, why not? I mean, if you want a character that could maybe go crazy, and you don't care about swingy units in your army, by all means, I think Mephiston is perfect. Who will play Space Marine 2 every night? You do the operations, not the PvP. When a game has PvP, I always seem to gravitate towards the PvP. I don't know. I guess it's just the sort of gamer I am. I like to make kills. I don't know. I've always been a PvP player. I think it's possibly when I first started gaming, there wasn't that many co-op games, right? You played stuff like Counter-Strike or Quake or Command and Conquer, and like very few of those games. StarCraft. Did the first one have co-op? I don't know. I don't know if the first StarCraft did. Well, maybe it had co-op against AI. But yeah, I grew up on PvP games. So if I'm gonna play, I want to play PvP, and if the PvP isn't gripping or doesn't have longevity, I'm gonna find it really hard to stick around. Like even if I played World of Warcraft for a bunch of years, and I did raiding and all that in WoW, but I did also really focus a lot of my time on like battlegrounds and arenas, and like that was a priority for me, right? Never sell out to negativity. Yeah, I know, but at the same time, I really wanted the PvP in Space Marine 2 to be better, more variety. I would have really liked to still be. I guess the other thing I like about PvP is I feel like you can jump in and just play like 1 or 2 rounds. So like I like it if the PvP is good enough where it feels like worthy to jump in and just play 1 or 2 rounds. So yeah, I made my video. I said nice things about Space Marine 2. I gave some feedback, but they haven't, from my understanding, they haven't done much for the PvP yet. If they do, what class was I playing? I was playing the Intercessor, the regular Intercessor. I thought he was the best. I thought his gun was pretty good. I thought the chainsword was pretty versatile. That was the class I was getting the most KD on. And I liked the class for the most part, right? It's not like I didn't like it. There was only when I was playing it, there was only 3 maps, and the game modes were very stale, and they were all short games. So I just felt like it needed something else. I hope they managed to like put out a PvP update or something that. Like I'm not against coming back to Space Marine 2. I'd like to play more of it. I just think it needs more. Oh, and WoW, I played Death Knight. Originally, I played Shaman before the Wrath of the Lich King came out, and then after Wrath of the Lich King, I moved to Death Knight. So I've been a Death Knight since like 2010. I'm not subscribed at the moment. I do have a bunch of WoW collector's editions. I did play a lot of WoW. Probably like a decade ago. Before I had kids, I played a lot of WoW. You know, back when I had a lot of free time, I guess. Marius used to run a PvP guild during Cataclysm. What side were you on in WoW, Marius? I was Horde. Tactical is great. I think Space Marine 2 PvP will get fleshed out eventually. Yeah, I mean, if it gets fleshed out and they do a meaningful PvP patch and there's like progression and there's like actual rankings beyond just like you know, like the moment in PvP you just have a level that really means nothing. like leagues or rank. The only thing that I'm worried about is if it takes them a year to get that sort of meaningful PvP made. Most of the PvP players will already have moved on, and the chance of them coming back probably are going to be slim. I feel like, yeah, it's an interesting one. I feel like the launch of a game now, like if you launch without all the PvP features, it's going to be super hard. There's just so many there's just so many games out now, right? Like a decade ago, maybe even more than a decade ago, like there wasn't as many new releases every month. And then you've got Steam sales and you've got stuff like that. It's but we'll see. Like I said, I enjoyed Space Marine 2. I'd like to if they do a PvP update that's meaningful, I'll be there for it. I did enjoy the PvP. I just think it needed like some semblance of progression or something. Robert says the matchmaking in PvP was horrible. Yeah, I don't think the matchmaking had much work at all, right? Like, you could get beat by a team and then you just played against the same team again and it didn't even try and balance the sides, if that makes sense. So I think there was... I don't know how to say it except PvP was half-baked, really. Which is what I really wasn't hoping for when the game came out. I was really hoping for the PvP experience to be complete and meaningful and have a long... You know, like, I'd like to have still been... Like, I've played PvP games before for, like, a decade, right? I think I played Dota 2 for, like... Maybe it wasn't a decade, but it was probably, like, the best part of, like, 7 or 8 years played Dota. So it's like, if the PvP is really meaningful and there's a ladder and, like, you go up and down and you can improve and all this sort of stuff, like, I'll play it for a long time, but... Yeah, I felt like it wasn't quite there with the Space Marine 2 launch. Which made me a little bit sad. Cambo, good evening. You didn't get the notification tonight because I told it not to send notifications to anyone that's playing Reavers. Or anyone that's talking about Reavers. It's now a banned word in my chat.
I have awoken.
Hello, Dr. Eggsham, thank you so much for becoming a channel member. I do appreciate it. !Discord, come join us in our members only Discord room. You're more than welcome. Thank you so much for helping me towards my November goal. I was going to say, these legs are a pain in the arse for edge highlight. I'm making a terrible job of this edge highlighting anyway, but these legs are just an absolute pain of a position to try and edge highlight the inner panels.
I have awoken.
It's fine. I always end up going back with the edge highlighting, and I'm definitely going to be going back on this one because it's about the messiest edge highlighting I've done forever. Cambo, noticed the lack of Reavers in your new list. Yeah, I noticed that too. Do you think it was accident or do you think it was on purpose? I think it must have been. It must have been an accident. I was trying, like, next time I build a list, maybe we should just start with, like, what? Do you think 15 Reavers, or do you think 30? Probably 30, right? They're just that good. Do you know what? I actually did kind of make one mistake in the list, in that, like, I did think to myself before I made it, I was like, am I not supposed to be trying suppressors here? Like, can I try suppressors? Should I be trying suppressors? I don't know, I don't think suppressors are horrible. I might change something. I don't know if I'm going to, but I might change something. I might try and find those suppressors. By the way, on mobile phone, we can't donate members. That if that's literally going to be an Apple thing, Marius. that probably I have no control over, and arguably YouTube will have no control over. What it is, and I've seen this in other things, is like Apple need their cut of all the money. So like if you try to gift a membership on Apple, Apple wouldn't be able to take their cut of like whatever it is, like all transactions on the App Store, Apple take a cut of them. So because Apple can't take a cut on gifted memberships, they don't let you do it, I guess. I mean, I can't do anything about that. That's just Apple. What's funny is like Apple want to take like, what's my gifted membership, like $4.99? Apple don't let you do it because they want their 30%. This is Apple is the company that I think it was last year or the year before they were the first company ever to do 1 billion, so that's 1,000 million profit, not turnover, profit. So like after they've paid all their CEOs and whoever else, like I don't even know what the CEO, that guy Tim Cook at Apple, must be making, but I'm pretty sure he's getting paid pretty handsomely. So they pay all these people insane wages, insane salaries, and then they make 1 billion profit. I don't even, what do you do if you're a company and you make 1 billion profit? Like, because if you break that down, it's pretty crazy, right? Like, if you go and work out how many iPhones they sold last year, let's say they sold 100 million iPhones. I don't even think they sell that many iPhones. They maybe sell like 30 million. But let's say if they sold 100 million iPhones, you could literally take, at that point, they could have taken $100 off every single iPhone, and they would have still made profit. But, I guess when you're the market leader and you're the monopoly, you can choose what the hell you want to do. So yeah, if you can't gift subs on your Apple device, man, to blame. It's literally Apple. I guess 1 billion profit isn't enough for them. They need their 30% of YouTube subs as well, or however you want to look at it. I don't know how people love Apple so much. I mean, they just make devices that generally work and they're easy to deal with. That's why people love them. So they're kind of like the lowest point of entry. Like if you've got your mum or someone and your mum's like, I need to get a phone, you just tell her, well, just get an iPhone because it's nice and simple. They make simple experiences for end users, I guess. And there's enough. I don't want to call like your mum or my mum simple, but there's enough people out there in the world that just need like a basic thing that just does the thing and is easy to use, and that's the market they've got. I use my mum as an example. She'd understand. She would actually probably laugh if she heard me call her simple when it comes to technology. But yeah, so they've got their market and they love their market. And they make, yeah, you're right, they just make as much money as they can on everything. I don't really know what they do with it. I mean, I guess they do some green initiatives and stuff, but, they do make horrendous amounts of profit. Let's get back on 40k. Because Apple versus Android is a debate that I'm sure plenty of other YouTube channels cover. And I am not qualified to run this debate. Yeah, I mean, like, there's, yeah, like my kid, I was gonna say, we have an iPad for the kids and it's like super simple, right? And they can't install a virus on it, and that everything can be locked down, and dare I say, the kids are at an age in my household where they're simple, so I just need a simple device, and Apple have that monopoly, I guess. Can I get some advice, says Isaac. Yes, of course you can. I'm going to a 1500 point tournament soon. I'm stuck between taking Dante and only having space for 5 assault intercessors. Take a jump packed in with speed of the Primarch and have the space for 3 Blade Guard. I think Dante is really, really awesome in his current iteration. His melee weapon is really good. His +1 to hit all the time while leading a unit is generally usually impactful. It means you don't have to use Oath of Moment on Dante's target, which frees it up somewhere else, which can be quite impactful as well. So right now, like, I pretty much take Dante in all of my lists as he's like the first thing in the list. So I would say he is good enough, in my opinion, to be S tier. Well, maybe not S, maybe just very high A. But, like, the other thing I think about Sanguinary Guard is I'm generally not going to let my opponent charge them. You know, they move so fast, and I can rapid ingress them. So I'm going to be the one initiating with them. So I feel like Fight First is a little bit less impactful maybe on the Sanguinary Guard. I mean, on another unit that's a bit slower, like Terminators or Blade Guard, I think Fight First could be very impactful. But I think if it's on a jump unit, I think there's good ways for us to get our jump units into combat nice and early, and we can control that. So because of that, I would say Dante is my choice, even in a 1500 point list. What's better for the channel? YouTube Super Chats, Twitch donations, or Patreon? Patreon take the least money. They take 11%. YouTube take 30%. So, if you know, it's obviously easier for people to support via YouTube though, because you're already on the platform. That's why I started linking at the end of my videos a lot of patrons. But I mean, people have green names, people like the green names in YouTube, so yeah, so I guess that's why Apple don't let you do gifted subs, because YouTube are taking 30 and then Apple would take 30, and then what's the creator actually getting? Not much, I guess, at that point, right? Seriously though, suppressors or reavers are just for point scorings. They're my go-to. All jokes aside, yeah, I think that I need to try a unit of suppressors. I don't know what I'm losing out my list to try them though. Like, I guess my option would be probably to have to lose, like, a unit of Outriders or a unit of Assault Intercessors with jump packs. And I'm not sure I'm there yet on losing those units. I have a question related to Isaac's. How do you think Blood Angels look in 1K games, says Grain of Truth. I'm having a tough time balancing our good units like Sanguinary Guard or Death Company while having enough points for objectives. Yeah, I mean, in 1K games, I would probably steer away from any 10-man or maximum size unit, right? So, like, if you're going to run Sanguinary Guard in 1K games, I would maybe be running them like with 3 Sanguinary Guard and Dante. How many points is that? 265, yeah. And I guess if you're running Death Company in 1K games, I'd probably do something like the same, like the 5-man Death Company led by like a generic chaplain. If you don't own a generic jump chaplain, just use one of the Astrath or yeah, just use Astrath or Lamarta's model. But just play it as the generic jump chaplain and keep the points costs down and see how you get on with that, because yeah, in 1K games, obviously, like, if you put a 400 point Sanguinary Guard unit into your list in a 1K game, it just, you're right. It would just consume far too much resources, I guess. Units that would be good for 1k games probably are like your 5 assault intercessors with the captain and the impulsor. That would be really good in 1k games. Possibly even like 2 of them might be good in 1k games. Because that gives you 2 impulsors to just be your scoring units, and then it just gives you assault intercessors and captains to sort of flood the middle of the board, or not flood the middle, but contest multiple objectives in the middle is maybe a better way of talking about it, right? I take a squad of ATV over a squad of suppressors personally. I don't think so, Kyle. I mean, I don't think you take the suppressors for their damage, right? I think you take them for you take them for their fast movement, you take them for the -1 to hit, you take them as potential units that can do actions. I mean, if you took an Invader ETV, it's 15 points less. Yes, it can still do actions, I guess. But its shooting is pretty lackluster, I feel like. And would you know, at least the suppressors, if they're going to shoot, they're then going to potentially debuff like a really nasty enemy. Whereas like the Invader ATV, if you shoot, you're kind of rolling the dice and just hoping that you luck out, because their shooting really isn't that good. Like a single multi-melta, gone are the days when a single multi-melta was a strong, scary choice. It's not scary, it's not strong anymore, not really. And you can't run Invader ATVs in squads, so you're running it as a single unit, I guess. Jordan says, do you have anything to bring that to 3+? Suppressors of base of 4 up. I mean, you stand still, Jordan, I guess, and then they're on a 3 up. They do have 72-inch range, so you could try and put them in cover, you could try and put them on top of cover. You can get them up on top of cover, 72-inch range, potential plunging fire for an extra point of AP. Stand still to hit on the 3s. But again, suppressors aren't a unit that's going to do damage, right? You just need to hit the enemy one time and then they're -1 to hit. That's what you're trying to do with the suppressors. Like, if they do damage, I guess it's kind of a bonus, right? I don't really see suppressors as a damage-dealing unit. Like you said, you're going to hit like 4.5 times with an autocannon, you maybe wound a couple of times, they maybe fail like 1 save, so a unit of suppressor is going to do like 1 or 2 damage. Invaders being 60 points is pretty nice. Is it, though? Because, you know, an attack bike used to be 60 points. And attack bikes used to basically be able to melt anything with those, because attack bikes multi-meltas used to be good, right? Like, they used to have like really nice strength. They used to have strength good enough where you're wounding most vehicles on like 3s, maybe? 2s or 3s or 4s? Whereas I don't know if I feel like their strength is meaningful anymore. And cursors can give them +1 to hit. Good shout. Not many people run the incursors. But again, I don't think you're taking the like, you've got 9 shots on that squad of suppressors. You really only just need to make 1 hit. Like, the reason you take them is to make the enemy -1 to hit, right? They're an action monkey that can make the enemy -1 to hit. You're not really taking them for damage. Like, I don't think anyone's looking at suppressors going, oh, that's going to be a unit that's going to do some great damage for me, right? Like, I don't think that's happening. Chris says, returning after 20 years and got the Combat Patrol and the Dark Angels Army kit. Have been watching your videos. Is it best to use your all-rounder 2,000 point list from your Death Company video, or is that out of date? I mean, that's a pretty solid starting point, Chris. One of the things that I do on the channel is try and cover like tournament-winning Blood Angels lists, or Blood Angels lists that are doing very well in tournaments. And you know, that changes literally every month or so. And like, I'm going to a tournament in January, which I'm already starting to prep for. That was the video I did last night, is me starting to think about this tournament in January and sort of start to try and prep for it in some sense. So yeah, I think the video about starting Death Company is still pretty accurate. But I think that, like, probably, like, if you're just starting now and you're going to try and build that list, probably in like 3 months' time, some things will have changed. Some things always change, you know, like, that's kind of how the meta for 40k goes. A new codex will come out, a new book will come out, and everything will change. Or new points values will come out and everything will change. But, you know, so the units that are there in that list, like the Death Company units, like the Sanguinary Guard units, they're always going to be at the top of the pack. Like, they've basically removed all the good melee options for Blood Angels except the Sanguinary Guard and the Death Company. The Death Company possibly a little bit too expensive right now. The Sanguinary Guard also possibly a little bit too expensive right now. But they are the best units that we have for melee, and they're probably going to be the best units that we have in the next year or longer going forward. So I guess the trick is to build around that, right? But yeah, in the next month or so, I hope to start being able to cover tournament-winning Blood Angels lists in the new with the new codex, right? Like, that's something that I'm hoping that we'll start getting, and I'll be able to cover those. And I'll cover them as soon as humanly possible. As soon as someone wins a tournament with Blood Angels, really, I'll try and cover it. And if nobody else does, then I'll be covering my tournament list that I'm playing in the next few weeks. I do think there is something to be said about more minimum size units in 1,000-point games as well. Yeah. Mark's going to LVO this year. When is LVO this year, Mark? I'd like to go to LVO one year. Anyone not sure what that is, it's the Las Vegas Open. It's kind of like the biggest tournament of the year for 40k. I think there were 600 players or something last year. I definitely would like to go one year. I was going to say, I'm going to need to get a lot. Keep grinding, keep growing the channel, get to a point where like I can get like pay to go to LVO from channel memberships. Because I don't think my wife will dig me doing that out of my own money. But yeah, I think LVO would be cool. I think it would be exhausting though. Because you, potentially if you do well, you're playing up to like 8 games. I usually start making mistakes on day 2 after like 5 games, so I don't know if I would actually be any good at. It's in January. Are Blade Guard on par with Death Company or Sanguinary Guard? Blade Guard are very good at the moment. Are they on par with Death Company or Sangard? Yeah, I mean probably, because Death Company lost a lot of their damage. I know that the maximum damage of the 130 point Death Company squad is 34. And the maximum damage of a 6-man Blade Guard squad is 60. So yeah, point for point, the Blade Guard probably outdamage the Death Company these days. Would I consider doing an 1,000-point list discussion? I mean, I don't see why not. think we're doing a 1,000-point video on the podcast next week. Do a GoFundMe. Have I tried the 10 Terminator brick yet? No, not yet. I was going to say 10 Terminators. I played Terminators in 9th quite a bit when nobody else was playing them. But no, I haven't played the 10 Terminators yet. Did you play them, Nomac? Hello, sellers. Hello, Krychek. Joey says, is a jump pack chaplain with fight first better or comparable to Lamartes or Astaroth? I mean, the jump pack chaplain is very good on his own, just because +1 to wound all the time is very good for Blood Angels. Fight first on Death Company is an interesting proposition, because Death Company... I mean, like, I feel like Death Company are a unit that usually are charging. You know, it's not that often that you let the enemy charge you first with Death Company. I guess it's why I haven't been putting fight first on my Death Company. But, I mean, if you are getting charged, then fight first is pretty useful, right? Sellers is building Brutalis tonight. The Brutalis is about 1 million pieces. So, you won't just be building it tonight, Sellers, you'll be building it tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that. What do we think about Assault Terminators? I don't like Assault Terminators, personally, at the moment. I like the normal Terminators that have the Power Fists. And the reason that I don't like Terminators, or, basically Space Marines with a ballistic skill of 4, is because sometimes you can play against armies that can really mess with your weapon skill and ballistic skill. I meant weapon skill 4, by the way, sorry. Like last week I played against Death Guard. So Death Guard literally have an aura where you're within 9 inches of them, you're -1 to hit them. And then he's got a unit of Nurglings kicking around, and then when you're within 6 inches of the Nurglings... Sorry, the Death Guard aura is -1 weapon skill. So, like, for example, those Terminators would hit on 5s, and then he's got Nurglings jumping around, so they make you -1 to hit. So those two things stack, so all of a sudden, potentially your Terminators with the Thunderhammers can only hit on 6s, or your Terminators with Chain Fists can only hit on 6s. So, like, that point, it just completely neuters that unit. I mean, it's pretty bad when they make it that you can only hit on 5s. But if they can make it that you only hit on 6s, you may as well just throw that unit in the bin. It's not going to do anything. What, 20 Chain Fists? 20 Chain Fist attacks from 5 guys, you're only hitting on 6s. So statistically you make 3 hits. Alright, you fail 1 wound roll. Okay, they gotta make 2 saves at AP 2, well they fail 1, so your 5 Terminators with Chain Fists did 2 damage. You know, like... I think that the -1 to hit, or the base weapon skill of 4 up on those Terminators, on the Chain Fists and the Assault Thunderhammers, makes them like hot garbage. Like, I just don't think I would ever include them, because the tournament I was at like a month or 2 ago, I was going to be playing Death Guard at the final table. And I was like looking at the Death Guard list, and I was like, oh my god, if I fight this Death Guard list, I don't know how I beat it, because I can't charge anything, because he's fight first everywhere, and he's got an absolute crap load of anti-infantry 2-up, and then the Nurglings are just everywhere, and like, you can get bogged down by the Nurglings, and yeah, it's just a nightmare. How is the piling with 10 Terminators? I mean, it's tricky, right? I feel like if you're trying to do a lot with those Terminators, I'd almost be tempted to just always play the advance and charge stratagem. Because yeah, piling with 10 Terminators is going to be pretty tricky. They're on pretty big bases. You know, I was playing a 10-man squad of Sanguinary Guard before they got nerfed to 6 guys. Or before they got changed to 6 guys, depending on how you want to look at it. And even the pile-in with jump packs, you know, with additional movement, I guess, sometimes meant that guys were left at the back without able to fight. You maybe need Vindicators to kill Death Guard. You need some shooting to kill Death Guard, I feel like. But then not all Death Guard, just Death Guard that... Like, if they bring Death Shroud and Plague Marines, then your melee units are going to have a pretty rough game. Are the Twin-Linked Lightning Claws not a viable option? I don't think they are, man, because I don't think you get enough damage out of them. I think they need more attacks because they're only 1 damage. So I think you get like 7 attacks with the Twin-Linked Lightning Claws. So even with 7 attacks per guy, is it as many as 7? It might only be 6. But even with 7 attacks, because it's only 1 damage, maximum of 35 damage from the squad. 35 damage maximum is actually not that high. I mean, the AP is kind of average as well, AP 2. How would I use the Sanguinary Priest? I just wouldn't use him at the moment. He's too expensive. 90 points for him is ridiculous. He should be like 65. At 65 we can talk about him. At 90 points, no. He was like 90 points when he had a jump pack. So they basically kept him at the same points and like took away his jump pack. If I was going to be running Assault Intercessors on foot, because I mean that's typically what the Sanguinary Priest would attach to, I would be 100% running a Captain, because I think the Captain just does more for that unit. I don't think I'm running 10 Assault Intercessors on foot with the Sanguinary Priest. Some people might, you know, like some people might want to try and make that Sanguinary Priest combo work. I don't think it's horrific, I just don't think it's the right cost right now. What about Fire Strike servo turrets in the back? No one asks about Fire Strike servo turrets. Oh my goodness, Mopar. I don't know if I feel like they've got enough shots to be worth it.
I have awoken.
Bommel, thanks so much for subscribing, I do appreciate it. Yeah, we don't see many Blood Angels players playing Fire Strike servo turrets, that's for sure. I mean, I don't think we see many players, period, playing Fire Strike servo turrets. Do I think there's any play for Death Company captains? No. I don't like either of them, Marius. Which is funny, because I actually used to always play Death Company captains in previous editions of the game when you could like use that chapter command stuff to upgrade and get yourself a Death Company captain, but now I feel like there's no... I think the problem is the OC. I just think that if the Death Company captain had some sort of way of giving those Death Company OC, then maybe, but the problem with the Death Company captain is you're still going to have to pay points to have chaplains all over the board. I think even in the Death Company Detachment, the Death Company captains are, I was going to say, quirky at best. Like, I look at the unit, I kind of feel like it's just filler for a codex. I don't know. I feel bad about pew-pewing on so many things in the codex, but there's so many bad choices. How could you make a drop pod work? Someone told me that they were making it work with 2 squads of Devastators with las cannons in it. But honestly, I hadn't really considered trying to make a drop pod work. I don't think it's an amazing unit at the moment. I think Impulsors are cheaper. They do the same things. I think someone asked a question about the Lost Detachment. I think I missed it. Could you ask it again? Michael, the 2 shots from that 2-up Strength 10 Firestrike platform, is it 48 inches? I thought it was only 24. I thought it was the autocannon that had 48 inches, and then I thought that the las cannon on the servo turret was only 24. Am I wrong? I mean, I don't play a servo turret, so I could definitely be wrong here. I do actually own a servo turret. I built it and sprayed it red, and that's as far as I ever got with it. Drop pods are massive. I heard a strategy about using 1 or 2 for deep strike protection. Maybe. I guess we'll have to see if the meta evolves to multiple drop pods. Something tells me it won't. I mean, I don't run Devastators at the moment. I don't know if I feel like Devastators with las cannons are all that exciting, but I mean, I guess if you use your Oath of Moment and you've got your drop pods, maybe it lets you do some things. Maybe. Kevin says he thinks Liberator is the only competitive detachment. Death Company detachment needs sustain 2 without having to lose anyone. Yeah, I mean, the Death Company detachment rules are bad, I feel like. The Angelic Host rules are also a little bit... I thought more people would be excited from Angelic Host, but in reality I think what's happened is most people have just seen the strength of Liberator Assault Group and just doubled down on that, and anyone that was somewhat excited about Angelic Host, like, it's not no one, but I was going to say it's sort of few and far between. Is like, I thought some of the pro players would be really into Angelic Host. It doesn't really seem like it's panning out that way. It just seems like people are kind of not like, when you put Angelic Host next to Sons of Sanguinius and the extra, or the Liberator Assault Group and the extra bonus you get from Liberator Assault Group for damage and stuff, people are just not rating Angelic Host. Oh, Demonic says, I asked you what you'd lose in Lost Brethren. They changed so you can use only 30 Death Company Marines with jump packs instead of 35. Yeah, you're right. In the Lost Brethren... I don't even know if I would run 3 squads of 10 jump Marines. I mean, I think that's pretty crazy to do. Because, like, each squad is such a huge point investment. I mean, I think if you're trying to make the Lost Brethren work, Demonic, you probably need to go, like, get some Impulsors, use the Impulsors to score points, and fill each Impulsor with, like, just Death Company Marines, I guess. Not like the ones with bolt rifles, like the Death Company Marines that just have chain swords, and probably attach chaplains, because that detachment is going to really need chaplains. If you're ever fighting against anyone that can do assassinate, they're going to try and assassinate your chaplains, because your whole list starts falling apart if you don't have chaplains. So I think if I was doing it, I would be looking for chaplains. So Death Company Marines and more chaplains. I don't even think it's the amount of units that can be pulled is the problem. I think that, like, Blood Angels are an army that want to charge, and you gave them a detachment rule that's like, by the way, you can't charge. So the best of the Blood Angel stuff, which usually comes from charging, doesn't synergize amazingly with the detachment. There you go, Kevin just said it. It makes the it makes the charging feel limp. You could also say lame, I guess. Might be a more PC word. Maybe it's minor, but yeah, I kind of feel the same, Kevin. That that detachment doesn't have a strat that's going to boost the main thing that Blood Angels do, which is kill shit on the charge. I know it can give lethal hits, but I don't think lethal hits is impactful enough. Like, it's not like lethal hits is the worst thing in the world. I just don't think it's enough. Cameron says, just getting into building after reading the books for years. Well, welcome, Cameron. Nice to see you. It's always nice to see some new faces. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do consider doing that. I'm here every week. I was going to say I'm here multiple times every week, trying to just smash out Blood Angels videos. I've got a real banger coming on Friday, by the way. I think you guys will really enjoy Friday's video. So this is why I don't edge highlight, because you can see how badly and ugly my first attempt at edge highlighting was, and then what I do is I go back with the previous color, in this case black, and tidy up all the lines. And I guess once I'm done with this step of quote-unquote tidy, the lines might look quite nice and the model might look somewhat respectable. But this is why I avoid edge highlighting on any model that I paint red, because it's not that I'm bad at this step, it's just so fucking time consuming. Which is funny, because I say that, and literally at the start of the stream I was showing you that I sprayed one of my Dreadnoughts black. So I'm going to paint it black and I'm going to edge highlight it. But sometimes I do, because I get really bored of painting the same Dreadnought over and over and over. You know, like I've done 3 Ballistices, I've done multiple Brutalises. I'm now going to do... I've done multiple Redemptors and stuff, so at some point I'm like, oh my god, I've got to paint another Dreadnought again. I don't want to paint another red Dreadnought. I'm so bored of painting red Dreadnoughts. So occasionally I do them black and then give myself extra edge highlighting. But oh well. Hello Gary, good evening. My bad, calling something limp doesn't have any PC implications in the US. Does it not? Okay. I don't know, I'm not entirely sure. I was actually thinking like a lot today, and I don't know if you guys caught my stream the other night. Do direct highlight with light grey. I use the Space Wolf one grey, this one. Fenrisian grey. And this is what like a completed guy might look like. I mean, this is a Firstborn Marine that I painted many years ago. But that's my style, I guess, for edge highlighting. It's probably like I'm a very battle ready painter.
I have awoken.
Vincent, company veteran. Wow, thank you so much for becoming a channel member, Vincent. Please exclamation mark Discord get into our members only Discord. Do appreciate you becoming a member at a higher tier. Thank you very much. It's always nice to see new members of the blood. What was I saying? You could just dry brush with Dawnstone. Yeah, that's probably a simpler thing. You could probably save yourself a bunch of time. I just kind of always try and make my models match previous schemes that I've done. Whether those schemes are folly or not, I guess I always try and match them. Probably more often than not end up being folly. Is the Sanguinary or Mephiston worth taking? I prefer Mephiston's rules to the Sanguinary right now. So I think if I had to run one of them, I would run Mephiston. I think the Sanguinary is kind of expensive for what you're getting, honestly. But, I mean, some people run the Sanguinary. Vincent says, just got into the hobby last month and starting to make my Blood Angels army, and your videos are great. Dude, thank you so much. It's always nice to see new people. It's always nice to get positive comments. I occasionally get really nasty hate comments, and you'd think after doing this YouTube game, whatever you want to call it, for 4 years that you could you should just be able to, you know, shrug those comments off. It's not always that easy, you know? So it's always nice to get nice comments, because yeah, when I get, you know, when I get a horrible comment, which does happen, I had one just the other week, it really does make you like question a lot of stuff, I guess, about yourself or what you're doing, or, you know. I'm gonna try and teach my kids that whole thing. You remember that thing where you got told as a kid? I think it was in Bambi, wasn't it? It was like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Yeah, I was trying to teach my daughter that. I need to get back into that. So thanks very much for the kind comment. It's nice. I appreciate it. But yeah, make sure you find your way into the members only Discord. Give me a shout if you can. I'm there all the time, so you got questions, anything. I feel like there's a lot of trolling. Yeah, Thumper rules. Yeah, Thumper does rule, actually. I need to get my kid a Thumper toy. Your mum says that all the time. Howdy, Commander. Ran Dante, Sangre Guard, Repulsor, and a GT a couple of weeks ago. It was very funny with this threat range. Yeah, do you know what? I've just decided to drop the Repulsor in Dante. No, I'm not dropping Dante, I'm just dropping the Repulsor. I think the threat range it gives is nice, but I was really struggling to get the most out of it, I must admit. I've tried in 4 games, and I feel like it's just not happening for me. So I think, as much as I think the Repulsor plus Dante inside is a cool tactic, I think in reality it can be quite hard to use. It hasn't quite been paying off for me, so I'm gonna leave it for now. Maybe I'll revisit it later. You should have a video about the negative comments. I did think about that, Robert, like save all the negative comments up, like, and then just do, like, you know, a video, but no, I don't want to cause any more drama. But I tell you, sometimes I do get negative comments, and it does like throw me for 6. It's weird. Fortunately, they don't come as often now, but they do still come. It's a shame that we focus on a tiny amount of negative things and not the 100 amount of positive. Yeah, that is a shame. It's weird how that works. Life's too short. Yeah, I mean, if I don't like a video by someone else, I just don't like the video, right? No, Mac, thanks very much. Yeah, I think we've got a lot of new people that have come over to the hobby because of Space Marine 2. I think that's cool. I think Space Marine 2 did a very good job of, like, showing what Warhammer can be, and getting, like, the nitty-gritty. I always like that bit at the start of the game, the video games as well, where it's like, in the grim darkness of the far future, and it's always said by, like, a really old, gnarly Englishman, isn't it? There is only war. I like it. I need to actually finish the Space Marine 2 campaign. I must admit, the campaign was very good. Next time I do a stream on a Saturday night and the stream doesn't end like super late, I'll just jump into Space Marine 2 for a bit at the end of my stream, I think. Gitley formally apologises for all the hateful I can't honestly remember anything you've ever said that's hateful, Gitley, so I think you're good. So who all got the Combat Patrol this week? Did a lot of you guys buy it? Have you started working on it? Yeah, I know that I know that making a video on hateful comments would be kind of funny, but then I don't know, you know, like, I don't know who these people are. I don't want to antagonize anybody. Maybe they genuinely hate me, you know, like, maybe they're like, that guy's a dick, I hate him. I don't want to antagonize anyone. I saw one guy one time on Reddit who was like, unpopular opinion, Blood Angel's commander doesn't know what he's talking about or something. And I replied to him, and my Reddit account isn't called BA Commander, it's a different username. It's like an old username from like a decade ago. So it was kind of funny to just reply. Frank bought it, just checked out the sprues and transfers. I haven't actually opened it yet. Were you excited about it, Frank? Does it feel good? I was going to open it when I ordered some bits from Archie's Forge. So I was going to open mine probably when the Archie's Forge bits arrived and try and see if we can convert some of the Sanguinary Guard to be a bit more jump, or a bit more winged, I guess. All the Assault Intercessors are getting turned into Berserkers. Yeah, I've got way too many Assault Intercessors. I actually gave my friend Miles 10 Assault Intercessors with jump packs this week for free. Because he said to me, he's like, oh, I'm thinking of starting Dark Angels. And I was like, are you really, Miles? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. What are you thinking of getting? And he was like, oh, I'm going to get Jump Assault Intercessors. And I was like, right, do not buy Jump Assault Intercessors. Because I think, like, I have like 50 of them. And that was before I remembered that we're getting 10 more in the Combat Patrol, because I bought that. So I was like, oh my god, so I've actually got like 60 Jump Intercessors. Good video would be to celebrate the next tournament win. Yeah, we're gonna see. I just bought my ticket on Friday last week for my next GT, and I do not, like, I don't have a list for that tournament yet. It's in January, so I've got a little bit of time, and hopefully as we get closer to the event I'll start feeling a little bit more confident. I don't feel super confident right now. the tournament in the summer that I won, though, is probably the first time. It's probably the first time I've gone to a GT feeling really confident about my list. And my list wasn't meta. Like, when I won that tournament in June, it wasn't meta. It was just I practiced that list an awful lot. So that's why I always say to people, like, I don't think you have to, you do not have to follow the meta precisely. You can take inspiration from the meta, and then if you practice a lot, sometimes just practicing is almost more important than you know, taking the units that everybody else deems as quote-unquote the meta units. Does the combat patrol assault intercessors? It is, yes. It is just assault intercessors, but there is a lot of 3D printed jump packs available now to purchase from various websites, or to get your friends to, like, there was a time there where Primaris jump packs were kind of difficult to get. I guess that time has gone. You can definitely get Primaris jump packs en masse now, I guess. Or much more easily than it was like 6 months. Like, when Assault Intercessors first came out, it was kind of hard to get your hands on like good quality Primaris jump packs. That's not a thing anymore. If you are struggling to get your hands on them, I would recommend Archie's Forge if you're in the UK. If you're not in the UK, I'm sure there's going to be other places that's going to come over to our Discord, and I'm sure someone will tell you of a 3D printing place in America where you can get good quality Primaris jump packs. I really like, that's the thing that I don't understand, right? Like, I made a video like 9 months ago now. That video was like, please Games Workshop, sell us Primaris jump packs. And obviously, I don't have a contact at Games Workshop or anything like that. So they maybe saw the video and ignored it, or they maybe never even seen the video, one of the two. But here we are 9 months later, and just everybody that wants Primaris jump packs now is converting them. Whereas they could have literally just stuck them on a sprue, 5 Primaris jump packs for $5, and they could have probably sold like 100,000. Well, I mean, look at those Crimson Lord things. That Crimson Lord campaign did like over $100,000 for third-party bits. So to me, it just seems insanity that we wouldn't make that sprue and take the money. But it is what it is, I guess. I feel like if it was my business and there was a chance to make like $100,000, I'd be like, sure, what do we got to do? $100,000 to me seems like a lot of money. Michael highly recommends Archie's Forge. How to use the company heroes? Hello, Sam. I put the company heroes with a captain because they have to be attached by a captain, I believe. I put them inside an impulsor, and then I use them to hold an objective that I feel is like, well, essentially in no man's land, but also like it's going to be a tough to hold objective. You know, like there's an objective that doesn't have a lot of cover in it, or there's an objective that's like too close to like nasty enemy units. I think that's what the company heroes excel at, right? Because they're 4 wounds per model, they're -1 damage. Because they're led by that captain, you can Armor of Contempt them for free basically every turn if you wanted to. At the time I was running the company heroes, I did not have another captain in my list. So the free stratagem for that captain was kind of exclusively for one of 2 things, which would have been Red Rampage or Armor of Contempt. So the second that people go on them, you know, I would be -1 damage. Sorry, not -1 damage. -1 to wound. Ignoring 1 AP. And that's kind of how I played the company heroes. I think they're a pretty strong unit. I think their durability is the reason to take them. So I guess like if you're Blood Angels and you're wanting some sort of durable infantry, then I think that's what the company heroes are. If the Sanguinary Priest could attach to the company heroes, he'd be an auto-include. Yeah, I mean, it's another... There's a lot of units that the Sanguinary Priest can't attach to that if he could attach to, he would be kind of interesting. Blade Guard, company heroes are two that definitely stick out, right? EU mainland is apparently hard to get the jump intercessors. Do Cromlech? Do you know Cromlech? They're an EU site. I've ordered from them before. They're pretty decent. I bought what was it? I bought Storm Shield replacements from Cromlech. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're worried about the balance with the Sanguinary Priest, but they've kind of gone completely the wrong... Like, I never even bought the new Sanguinary Priest, right? I just don't see how... I'm using them, I guess. Like, I guess there was a reason that no one took him on foot and everyone took him with a jump pack, right? Sam, where about in the Caribbean are you? I just had a flashback somewhere deep inside the Caribbean, and then in comes the Monkey Island music, right? Was that not how that game started? Somewhere deep in the Caribbean? I feel like it was. My desktop background is Monkey Island. Puerto Rico. Okay. You're planning on putting up a list for submission? Yeah, do it. He works well with Assault Intercessors and a Captain. Yeah, I just don't know if I feel excited about Assault Intercessors on foot. I think it was different when they could jump around and they could do a bunch of mortal wounds, right? Like, I feel like if I'm going to run Assault Intercessors on foot, I want them to be the smallest unit they can be, which would be the 5-man. I wanted them to be in an Impulsor. Because I don't think Assault Intercessors on foot are a durable unit, right? Like, Space Marines with a 3-up save and nothing else is not something I would say is durable. So they're not durable, so you want them in the Impulsor. You don't want to be spending a crap load of points on the Repulsor. And I think by the time you spend the points to attach the Sanguinary Priest, you're getting into the realms of this unit is too expensive. I could do more damage with a jump pack unit. The jump pack unit would be faster. Matthew just finished his first 10 Death Company. Well, you're beating me, Matthew, because I have not finished any of the new Death Company. This will be my first one from the new Death Company box, in fact. I did spend the whole afternoon working on Dante, though, today. And I was filming everything I did, because I'm trying to make my battle-ready Dante painting video. Whether or not it's a good video is going to be unknown. I feel like the last time I made a painting video, it wasn't the best received video, but I guess if you need to know how to paint battle-ready Dante, that's what I'm working on. I'm gonna have that video here done sooner rather than later, I guess. I've actually really enjoyed painting Dante. I think the new model is awesome. If I put up a list with only 5 Reavers, will it be torn apart? No, I mean, if you put up a list with 5 Reavers, man, I'm not gonna diss on your list for having 5 Reavers. Like I said, I think you can put any unit you want in a list to a certain extent. You know, like when I went to that tournament running 2 Predator Destructors, I don't think many people were running Predator Destructors for Blood Angels. I don't think I'd seen any tournament winning lists with Predator Destructors in it. Maybe there was 1 or 2, but I don't think I'd seen any. But the Predator Destructor just really fitted with what I was trying to do at the time, and my goodness, did it work out well for me in the end. So, like, and here's the thing, right? You might put Reavers in your list, and you might uncover like a cool combination that wins you a game that no one thought you could win, and like, I don't think there's ever a reason. Like, yes, there's intrinsically some really bad units in the Codex. There always is. It always seems like Games Workshop's happy to leave some really bad model. Some models just have bad rules and they just get left with bad rules. And sometimes they get left with bad rules for a whole edition. That's just something that happens. And there's not, you know, and I guess if you've got a unit like that we all think is overcosted and just has bad rules, then yeah, maybe it's not gonna be the greatest list. Or maybe when you send me the list, I'll mention it and say, like, you know, this unit has bad rules. We all think it has bad rules. We don't really think it's competitive right now. You should probably replace it, but you don't have to replace it. You know, like, if anything, you could then take that list with the bad unit that I've talked about on stream, go out, win a tournament, and then come back to me and say, haha, John, I won a tournament with, let me think of a bad unit. I won a tournament with a Hammerfall bunker. You told me on your stream that you didn't think anyone could win a tournament with a Hammerfall bunker, you know? And then I would be the one with egg on their face, so to speak, right? My daughter said that to me a few weeks ago when I said to her, like, you don't speak back to your mum or you're going into timeout. And she said to me something like, what did she say? She said something like, you know, like, she snapped it off, like, nah, and then she said, and you will be the one with egg on your face. And I was like, right, get into timeout for 2 minutes. You do not speak back to me like that when you're getting told off for bad behaviour. It's like, my wife's like, what'd she say? She's like, you'll be the one with egg on your face. It's like, I will not be. I'm the boss of this house. The Predator Destructor falls short when a big toughness 13 Center Priest model is in play. I'm usually still bringing one. I'm bringing one to my next, to my tournament list, Kevin. And I guess it, I mean, it does have a strength 14. It does have a strength 14 hunter killer missile. So I mean, it doesn't fall crazily short. So I've been live for an hour and 30, and what I've managed to do is badly edge highlight this guy's legs, clean it up, and now it needs a little bit clean up with the original edge highlighting. So this is why I don't edge highlight. It'll take me about 3 hours it's harder to one thing I have noticed, it's harder for me. Yeah, I get owned by my own daughter. Yeah, it's harder for me to paint when I'm reading you guys in chat and speaking back all the time. So I could be a little bit faster if I wasn't reading chat. Remember in the Angelic Host, you have to have jump pack units to be eligible for redeploy. Right? You can't redeploy just anyone. You have to redeploy units that already have a jump pack. I mean, unless you've got scouts, I guess. I thought that I would enjoy playing Angelic Host, but I agree. I think it was Kevin that said it in the chat that it just feels like if you are Angelic Hosting, you're just giving up so much damage on the charge, and I think Blood Angels benefit a lot from charging. Why the Destructor? The Destructor is awesome against infantry. So if you think about Terminators being a real problem, potentially like the Destructor gets AP 2 against infantry with its autocannon. So it's kind of the perfect. Now, it's the perfect amount of AP to put the enemy's Terminators on their like 4-up invuln. And the other thing the Destructor gets, which is awesome, is the bonus to an additional point of AP. Is all its weapons. So it's like las cannons hit infantry at AP 4. Its Stormbolter hits infantry at AP 1. And I actually think that its autocannon isn't like. Someone just made the point of like a toughness 13 enemy. So if you come up against toughness 13 enemy, your las cannons are only wounding on 5s anyway. So at that point your autocannon, which does get 6 shots, which is flat 3, is wounding on just the same 5s. So, you know, like the top gun on the Predator or Annihilator, you'd get 1 shot. The autocannon, you get 6 shots. So I mean, it's not bad. I've been playing the Destructors now since May, actually, because May was the time that I sort of put together that list that I went out and won the GT with. So I've been playing with Destructors on my list for like, I guess 6 months now, and I still swear by them. I think the reason I like them so much is they're cheap and they're super awesome at killing infantry. I think that just like if you can just like anytime enemy has elite infantry, you can just get rid of it. Flat 3 damage is really meaningful into infantry as well. There we go, just drop the model, as you do. But I mean, an Annihilator isn't the worst choice in the world. I just think I prefer Destructors though. I mean, if I was going to run Annihilators, you could run Ballistus Dreadnoughts. They're very similar to Annihilators. It'll be a sad day for me when the Predator Destructor goes to Legends. I think it will be probably next edition. But I have really enjoyed it. I'm trying triple Ballistus. I only have 2 Ballistuses, but I think that if I had 3 I would actually try it. So I'm going to do 2 Ballistuses and the Destructor in my next list. And I'm going to see if I feel like... I'm going to give that list a couple of iterations, or a couple of tests, I guess. I'm going to see if it feels like it would be strong enough. Because I haven't tried double Ballistus yet. But I mean, I have got a lot of experience playing double Annihilator, and double Destructor. And double Destructor does always seem to produce good results. Like a lot of armies just have some nasty infantry unit that you can just get rid of them. Both the moment. It's been very good against like Grey Knights with their Terminators. It's been very good against Death Guard with their Terminators. It's been very good against Khorne for like the 8-bound. The Destructor just seems to be, for me anyway, it seems to be the gift that just keeps on giving. How do you take on Dark Angel spamming Deathwing Knights? Well, I mean, the Destructor is going to be a great tank against that as well, right? Dark Angel's Deathwing Knights are super slow. Do you know what's going to be good against them, actually? Is probably Suppressors. Just to give them -1 to hit. Marius is out for a walk and someone has Christmas decorations up. We'll go and... I was gonna say vandalize their Christmas decorations and tell them it's way too fucking early for Christmas decorations. Don't vandalize them, because that would be a bad idea, but it is way too fucking early for Christmas decorations. It's like the first week in November. Seems like every year it gets earlier for the Christmas. Hey, and I'm Christian, man. I go to church at Christmas and stuff, and I mean, I like Christmas more than most people these days, because most people aren't religious anymore. I mean, I'd say that. I have no idea actually what composition of people are religious these days, but it feels like it's less than it was. Like, I feel when I was growing up, like 30 years ago, like a lot of people were religious. Now it feels like no one's religious. But November is first week in November is way too early. Hunter says you've convinced me, I'll try Destructors. Yeah, we've joined someone else. I keep telling Colin, because Colin plays Death Guard, I keep telling him to try Destructors, and he keeps telling me, he's like, but I've got plenty of stuff that kills infantry. But I was like, the amount of times I kill not infantry stuff with the Destructor is pretty good. I was playing Grey Knights a few weeks back. And I think I shot a Destructor against a Dreadnought. Dreadnoughts only have like toughness 8. I did 9 wounds to a Dreadnought with the autocannon, because he rolled like 111 on the save. It was like, bang, 9 wounds to your Dreadnought from my Predator Destructor. And that's before I even shoot it with its las cannons and stuff like that, right? So yeah, I get the Predator is primarily an anti-infantry tank, but it can, just because it's got a good number of shots, I feel like it can sometimes surprise you with the damage it'll do. How many units of suppressors have you been using, Wisp, and how are you using them? Because I have been meaning actually to. I feel like I missed a beat when I made this new list. I think I maybe need to make one tweak and get a unit of suppressors in. I think suppressors could be interesting, and I kind of just want to give them a bit of a whirl at 75 points. Because face it, like, most enemies have some big nasty unit that has a lot of guns on it, and they don't want to be shooting that big nasty unit at your suppressors, right? They want to be using that big nasty unit to kill something else. If your suppressors are just going to make it -1 to hit all game, I feel like that could be useful. I feel like I want to try it. I'd like to see a Ballistas versus Destructor video. I made a video about fire support on Friday, man. Last week. It literally had the Ballistas and the Destructor in it, I think. My wife loves Christmas. She wants to put it up after Halloween. I mean, I guess, yeah, maybe you can put inside decorations up super early, but I don't know, man. I mean, like, the stores go crazy now, right? Like, I think we had Christmas stuff in the stores before Halloween was even finished. I'm not sure how I feel about that either. I think that's way too early as well. You put in 2 units, they're not very durable and they're too many points. Yeah, I feel like maybe 1 or 2 is going to be the sweet spot for those suppressors, isn't it? One's probably the ideal, but then 1 unit can get picked off and then you lose the value, so... yeah, it'll be a tricky one, but I really do want to try a unit of suppressors, I think. Maybe I'll bring 1 unit in my next list and just see how we get on with it. When is Thanksgiving again? We don't do that here in... I think you guys do Thanksgiving to be thankful to getting away from England, right? That's what Thanksgiving's about? Or is it for thankful for the harvest? I thought it was something to do with... no, maybe not. Maybe that's Independence Day. I thought Thanksgiving was something to do with, like, being free of the English rule or something like that. Is that right? Happy wife, happy life. You are right, Mark. So if the wife wants Christmas decorations the day after Halloween, then you just go with it. No, I'm you know, I hear you. It's a good idea to keep the wife happy. That's why I get to do so much Warhammer stuff, because I keep my wife happy. That's why when all my friends are always going to Warhammer tournaments and they're always like, John, come on, come to another tournament. In fact, Andrew invited me to like 2 tournaments in the last 2 months, and I'm like, dude, I just can't. Because I need my wife to be happy. We used to celebrate Thanksgiving in the UK, did we? It's the last week in November. Oh, so it ties in with like Black Friday and that. And it's for surviving the winters when you first move. Oh, right, makes sense. I'll try and remember that. Because sometimes at our work they'll say things like, because we sometimes work with companies out of America, and they'll say like, oh, you know, like we're closing for Thanksgiving, and every single year I'm like, when is that again? Black Friday is the day after Thanksgiving every year. I thought Black Friday was the 25th of November. Does it change does it change year on year? I was actually hoping to buy a new camera in Black Friday, because the camera I've got in front of me, I was using it today to film the Dante video, but like what a rigmarole it is to get, like it's all like attached and tripoded up in front of me. So like to get it apart from the computer takes me like 20 or 30 minutes, and it's like an absolute nightmare, and then putting it back together is the same again. So it's like, and that's the camera that I use for all my videos, so I was like, I want to buy a new camera so I don't have to try and take my whole setup apart when I need a, because I've got a Handycam but it's old and it only does 1080, and the autofocus on it is just annoying. So I'm hopefully going to get a new camera in Black Friday. I've been saving the channel money for a little while because that's what I'm planning on doing. I also want to get wireless microphones, so those are the two upgrades that I'm wanting to make to the channel in the next year, is like wireless microphones for the stream, so that like our battle reports, we've got like those clip-on mics that like other channels have, and then a better camera as well. Fancy edge highlighting, dude. I've been making a fucking disaster job of this edge highlighting. I'm like 2 hours in, I haven't even done one guy's set of legs. I was painting all morning as well though, so I've had a good productive day in terms of painting. I was filming what I was painting all morning as well. So my Dante has been making strides of progress. Guys, if you enjoyed tonight's stream, leave a like if you've got 1 second, I would appreciate it. We've got 89 viewers, we got 49 likes. This is my Dante. And I'm filming this guy to make a painting. Like, I've been painting him and filming every step. I mean, it's a pretty simple battle ready Dante, but I think he looks pretty cool. I'm thinking 2 or 3 more hours might finish him off. Again, it takes a little bit longer because I'm filming everything, but turn the clip off on microphones before I go to the bog. You don't want to hear me take a little winkle, do you? Not on stream? That's not cool. What's the best way to paint Death Company crosses? The best way to paint them is to probably make a stencil with masking tape. Here's one that I freehanded earlier today. You know, the thing is, like, so I freehanded this earlier today, right? Like, you can just come back with black paint afterwards, right? And we could just try and straighten up some of these edges. The thing about doing it freehand is, like, if you don't ever do it, you'll never get better at it, right? So yeah, this isn't the best X I've ever done. But I mean, it is possible to come back and try and improve it. So I've done it before where, like, you just build it up, right? Like, you just try and straighten it out, you're not happy, just thin coats over and over until you get happy. The thing is, who's marking your X? In terms of symmetry. You know, nobody, I guess, right? It's just about how good it looks. I mean, I feel like this is pretty okay for freehand. I mean, I literally freehanded that in like a minute. But I have done X's before and I have tried to freehand them before, so it's just time and practice. Did you say practice makes perfect? Someone in chat is going to be like, that's the worst fucking X I have ever seen in my life. John, you should be embarrassed. Someone's using painter's tape. Yeah, the last stream that I did a stream a few weeks ago when I was doing Death Camp. I can't remember what I was doing. I was doing Assault Intercessors or something. Oh, I was doing the Hazard Stripes. And I've free-handed Hazard Stripes before, and I've done it with masking tape. And honestly, by the time I went to all the rigmarole of the masking tape, I honestly felt my freehand was possibly just as good. So maybe what you need to do is try the tape, but then eventually have the confidence to just be like, I'm gonna freehand an X, see what it looks like. If you don't like it, you could just paint over it, right? Like, you're putting these coats on pretty thin. No one would know there's a botched job X under there. But yeah, someone was saying that you can get 1mm thick masking tape. I bought like regular masking tape and had a nightmare trying to cut it really thin, because I guess if you try and cut tape and keep it even width down the tape, that's going to be really difficult to do. So I did it for my Assault Intercessors for the Hazard Stripes, and basically what it meant was all my Hazard Stripes were different thicknesses and it wasn't the greatest. But at the end of the day, I was still pretty happy with the results. I think the main thing for the hobby, for like Warhammer hobby, is in it, like, if I go back and look at something I painted 5 years ago, it will not be nearly as good as something I painted now. So it's just a case of like, just do it. You're always going to get new models. You're always going to improve. No matter how hard you try now, you know, like if I came and did this exact same guy in 10 years time, he will look better than he does now, regardless of the effort I've put in now or whatever. So I would say just do it. Figure out how you're going to do it. Freehand it, mask and tape it. Just make it happen. Get it done, and then you'll come back in the future and you'll do it better. Tamiya, that's the brand. Tamiya tape, apparently. I need to get some of that next time I do Hazard Stripes, because my Hazard Stripes took me ages to do, because I was trying to cut masking tape and it was a disaster. I mean, it ended up not being too much of a disaster. Like, if I look at that unit of Assault Intercessors, I was pretty pleased with them. But at the time, it felt a bit like a disaster. Where can I submit a list on Discord? Go to pastebin.com, paste it in there, and then send me the pastebin link, Campbell. And Nathan got his tooth pulled out today because I got an infection from where I chipped it, but I got a box of Necron Immortals. Well, that's cool. You don't need all your teeth anyway. Do you? I got my wisdom teeth taken out. I got my, what are the pointy teeth that you get that are the vampire teeth? I don't know what they're called because I don't have any of them. Are they called incisors? Is that the teeth? So actually I'm a fake blood angel because I don't have any incisors are the teeth that like in all the movies the vampires have, the pointy ones, right? I don't have incisors. I'm a fake blood angel. I got my incisors pulled out when I was about 12. I had small mouth, too many teeth. So I don't have any. There is no pointy teeth. So I can't drink blood. So that's why I don't have a black rage. See that? Maybe we're onto something here. You pull out the blood angel's incisors, then you don't have black rage. I mean, I do get ragey at times though. Pretty ragey. I think they're canines. Maybe. I don't know. I don't have it. I don't have them. So I guess I'm the wrong person to ask. I remember it hurt like hell when I got them taken out though. That's for sure. I'd eat soup for like a week. I got all 4 pulled at once. Canines? Okay. Then I have no canines. I got pretty mad about the chainsword on the new upgrade sprue. I mean, I must admit I did get pretty mad about that. That chainsword made no sense, though. I guess I get mad about stuff that makes no sense. It really did make no sense, didn't it? Like every Blood Angels character under the sun comes with a chainsword. So what's the one thing they put on the upgrade sprue? A chainsword. I mean, that would make the most normal, you know, that would make the most normal Blood Angel that is just having a nice day fall to the rage. Like, what is that? I really wish that they'd let that new Blood Angels captain take an Eviscerator as well, rather than a mastercrafted chainsword. That would have been a bit more Gabriel Seth, wouldn't it? Mark, have a good evening. Thanks so much for hanging out. Would you like some chainsword with your chainsword? Yeah, exactly. It was such a weird choice. It's like the person that made that upgrade sprue just was trolling everybody. Are you going to bed, love? Good night. I think I'm going to leave this X. I might try and straighten up the lines a little bit, but I'm going to go with the freehand on this one. I think it's alright. I like what someone in chat said earlier, that like the Death Company guy that painted on the X wasn't of sound mind, so he didn't keep the lines 100% straight. I never thought of it that way before. Blood Angel's character question. Do you see any purpose for the Sanguinary Priest? I bought one at release, but I can't see me ever playing in the list. So we've got the tier list coming out on Friday, Draken, where we talk about all the new models, we talk about where we list them in terms of how competitive they are. I won't tell you where we put the Sanguinary Priest yet, because I guess you'll have to watch the tier list on Friday. But I think having just discussed that the other night on, you know, like for this video, I think our general consensus was if he was maybe like 65 points, he might be interesting, but at 90 points, he's kind of crazy costed. Question, are we one of those factions that want our Primarch to return? It's an interesting question, right? Some people want the Primarch to return. Some people are like, all Primarchs should stay dead. I don't know if that's necessarily a faction thing or more individual, right?
Matthew Box donated $19.99 via Super Chat. I very much appreciate your channel and your help making all of us stronger. Your time is valued.
Matthew, your super chats are valued. You're very generous, Matthew, must admit. Thank you very, very much for the super chat. Yeah, the Friday's video is like an hour and 43 minutes. We go a little bit off topic at places, but it should be a fun one. AFOC1 says, if my Sanguinary Guard and Death Company have a little higher bases, then they could probably use the old models. Could that be legal in tournaments, or should that be legal in tournaments? I just rebased a bunch of my original models, AFOC1. I basically took another bait, like the right size bases, because Sanguinary Guard are moving to 40 mil, right? Where'd I put them? Put one somewhere. Yeah, look, there's a Sanguinary Guard, a Firstborn Sanguinary Guard on a 40 mil base. So I originally was going to buy those base extenders and use the base extenders that just make them bigger bases. But then I kind of felt what you just said, AFOC, that if they're a little bit taller, they'd be more valid in terms of like the Primaris sizing. So I just basically took the old Sanguinary Guard on their 30 mil bases and stuck them onto a 40 mil base. I did that to 12 of my old ones. And then I guess if you put them side by side, I mean, at that point they're pretty much just the same. If I try and put them side by side, they're pretty much the same height as the Primaris. So to me, like, I have the Combat Patrol now, but I only get to paint like 3 times a week for like 2 or 3 hours. So, and I guess my thought is it takes me probably like 7 or 8 hours to do a model at this quality. I'm not the greatest painter. So if I were to do 12 Sanguinary Guard, you're talking 12 weeks. So I'm going to be playing with these guys in a tournament, and I don't think anyone will have a problem with that, honestly. I think they'd probably be okay to just rebase them on, like, just use the base extenders, but maybe it helps a tiny bit more to do it that way, if that makes sense. The Primarch's sacrifice would be cheapened if he returns. Yeah, that's what some people think. So yeah, it's kind of a... the Primarch's returning is kind of a... on a person by person... why did I buy the new ones then, if you had enough of the old ones? Because I do like to have all the new models, I guess. But I suppose I could have not. My thought originally was I was actually gonna buy just 3 of the new Sanguinary Guard, and have, so if I wanted to run 3 squads of them, like 3 6s, I was originally gonna have like 1 of those new Primaris ones lead each squad, if that makes sense. But then the Combat Patrol got announced, and the Combat Patrol has the captain as well, and I kind of like the look of that golden captain, and it has the transfers. So I ended up buying the Combat Patrol. So I'll have 6, but I don't think I'll ever, like, I don't think I'll be running more than 6 Sanguinary Guard, honestly. But yeah, I genuinely buy at least like 1 of everything new. which is probably why I get upset when they legend stuff, because I buy all the new stuff anyway. You know, like, case in point, like, even though I rebased 12 of my Sanguinary Guard, I would have bought 6 of the new ones. I'm never gonna replace everything, right? Like, I'm running, like, I have like 30 painted Firstborn Death Company. So at the moment I'm painting these like 2 Eviscerator Death Company, because obviously I don't have any Eviscerator Death Company. But yeah, because I generally buy at least one of everything new. That's why I got upset possibly so much about all the models going into Legends, because I was like, well, I buy all the new stuff anyway. So when you buy all the new stuff anyway, and a crap load of your stuff goes into Legends, it just generally feels really bad, I guess. I guess there's not too much we can do about that. That's just the way that 40k is now. I want to try running a Sanguinary Priest with Infernus Marines. That 1 AP to the Strength 5 Flamers sounds fun. I think the AP from the Sanguinary Priest is only for melee combat. I think you need to double check that. I'm like 90% sure it's not shooting attacks. I think it's just melee attacks. But I kind of agree with you, Prime, in that if Infernus Marines actually had 1 AP, I think they might be a decent squad. But because they have no AP, I think they're kind of garbage. I'm not a fan of anything that's got no AP these days. There's too many armies that you run into where like their whole army's got like a really good save. Like, you play Grey Knights, their whole army's saving on 2s. If you run into that with AP 0 weaponry, you're just gonna have a bad day. There's other armies that are similar as well, I guess. Custodes. Am I correct that I can post a list under chat at the end of the stream? Yes, 100%. So as soon as any stream ends, then you can't obviously live chat on the stream anymore, so that it becomes comments, right? So yes, you can post your list in a comment as soon as the stream ends. That is correct. You can post a 1,000-point list as well, yes. You're right, it's only melee weapons. Oh, sorry to burst your bubble. They have done a lot of weird things like that. You know, like the Sanguinary Priest cannot attach to a bunch of units that it would be really good with, and yeah. It is what it is this edition, I guess. Sometimes a unit is really good for an edition and then it completely falls off and then it comes back, and Aggressors were an example of that, right? I just think the Sanguinary Priest needs to be able to attach to, like, Blade Guard. Or, I mean, I have no idea why he can't attach to Blade Guard. That would be the perfect choice for him. It's like, what do Blood Angels need? We probably need something durable. They can, because we've lost a lot of our damage output with the Jump Marines. So we're probably actually craving something durable that can go and sit in the middle of the board and actually be pretty nasty in combat. What could have that been? Could have that been Blade Guard or the Priest? I think hell yeah, I think it would have probably sold a lot of Blade Guard. I think that would have been perfect for Blood Angels. Would you prefer 3 Ballistas or 2 Ballistas and a Predator? The issue with the Ballistas is it's got a very, very big base. So if you're running multiple of them, you can sometimes get a little bit like caught under the feet of each other. I don't know. I really like the durability of the Ballistas. I have a feeling that the Predator might the Predator is definitely less durable, but I have a feeling the Predator might just be better for long-range damage output. So I'm trying double ballistas here next week on my battle report next Wednesday, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure. Kane Henry Powell, yes, you may ask a question. It'd be a pretty interesting stream if I was like, no questions. How dare you? Yeah, most of my streams are pretty chatty. I just answer everybody's questions. And then sometimes the stream flows in some random ass tangent. Because I think the other night we'd got onto politics. So sometimes it goes a bit random. But yeah, we just go with the flow. And then sometimes when it goes random, we come back to 40k or we just get sidetracked with the whole stream. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I know that I talk about Star Wars too much sometimes. Alright, Kane, what's your question? Hit me. I've heard people say a captain with Ragefilled Warrior, 10 Assault Intercessors, and the Sanguinary Priest is amazing. I think it's too many points. I think if I'm running Assault Intercessors and a captain, I'm just running them as a 5 and I'm putting them aside an Impulsor. I don't think it's amazing. I don't think Strength 6 Chainswords are quote-unquote amazing. Like I played a tournament recently where I had to play Knights, and in that list, in the game that I played against Knights, I had a crap load of Chainswords in my list. Like half my list is Chainswords. And I think if you go into Knights and you're Chainsword heavy, as my list kind of was, then you very quickly realize, like, okay, Chainswords into Knights, this is going to be pretty bad. So like a captain plus 10 Assault Intercessors plus a Sanguinary Priest. The captain's like 80, the Assault Intercessors are like 150, the Priest is like 90. So you're about 350 points, and you're just Chainswords. Like 350 points can get you like 10 Death Company led by Astaroth, which is like devastating wounds, power fists, jump packs. You still have a 6-up Feel No Pain. I guess it's not the same as the Priest's 5-up Feel No Pain, but like, I think at that point you have to actually start thinking about maximum damage a unit can do. Right, like if you look at that unit of Assault Intercessors, let's just say everybody's got a Chainsword in that unit of Assault Intercessors, you're like 50 maximum damage. So one guy loses Chainsword, so it's 45, and he gets a Power Fist, he can do 8 with that. So like 53 maximum damage is the max that 10, that 350 point unit, the maximum damage it can do is like 53. I suppose you could add in some characters and stuff, they could do some damage and etc, but just remember 53 for a second. Then if you take like the Death Company, that can have 4 Power Fists, sorry, 3 Power Fists now, isn't it? So the 3 Power Fists each get 4 attacks. I'm gonna have to do this in my head. 3 Power Fists get 4 attacks, so that's 12 attacks. So the Power Fist alone can do 24 damage. Then you've got 2 Eviscerators, well they can do, it's 8 attacks, so they could do 16, so we're at 40 damage. 24 plus 16, yeah, 40. Then you've got 25 Chainswords, so then you're at 65 damage. So that unit of Assault Intercessors, which costs the same, 350 points, has 50 max damage. The Death Company have 63 max damage. I guess you could factor in the Sanguinary Priest and a Chaplain or Astaroth, I guess. Astaroth can do 14 damage, so the Death Company have like 77. So the Assault Intercessors are probably definitely behind in damage. Maybe if you get really lucky on the Rage Fueled stuff, you could do similar. But then, the Death Company are moving 12 inches. And your Assault Intercessors are moving 6. So like if you do get into combat and you kill something and then you need to get to another unit, the Death Company are going to get to another unit a hell of a lot easier than those assault intercessors on foot. I also think assault intercessors generally are a unit that don't survive more than one turn, because they are just marines with like toughness 4 and 2 wounds. So when anyone puts any sort of significant fire at them, they do just die. And I don't think the priest massively changes that. Changes it a bit.
Izzy the Warmaster donated $5 via Super Chat. Hi John, question: which model should I get next for my BA army? I have the old BA Combat Patrol and Sanguinary Guard, but mostly it.
Oh, good question. So you've got the old Combat Patrol, so that's... I'm going to get to your question in a second, Kane, sorry. Let me just do the Super Chat. The old Combat Patrol is Infiltrators, an Impulsor. Infiltrators and Impulsor. Intercessors and Aggressors. Okay, and then you've got Sanguinary Guard. So what I'm really liking at the moment, I'm actually really on board with Blade Guard inside an Impulsor. You already got the Impulsor, so that could work. I'm actually really on board with multiple Impulsors. I'm getting a second Impulsor commission for myself at the moment. So you could look at a second Impulsor. Death Company are still good. I think they will come down in points. They're a little bit expensive right now, but I think they will come down in points. So Death Company with jump packs are still very good. Assault Intercessors with jump packs are also still very good. Outriders are not the worst thing in the world. I feel like in terms of top tier units, if you don't have Dante, I would get Dante actually, because I feel like Dante leading the Sanguinary Guard is actually really important. I think that Dante is the best character for leading them, and I think his damage right now, he's a little bit expensive, but I think his damage probably justifies it. Like, he can do so much damage, and his battle shock can sometimes be very meaningful. I'm a big, I kind of hated Dante in 9th edition, and now I'm a big fan in 10th edition. He's given me a run for the name Blood Angels Commander, that's for sure. Can you imagine 3 Impulsors in a competitive list? Yes. I actually built a list last night that I think had 3 Impulsors. More of a proof of concept than, I was just because one of my channel members very generously bought me a 3rd Impulsor. It's funny because I always complain on my birthday that I don't get many birthday presents anymore, and my best birthday present was bought by a channel member who sent me an Impulsor. Ironic, but I'm very happy about it. So I've got 3 Impulsors now, so I was trying to think, could I do 3 Impulsors, 1 unit of Blade Guard, 1 unit of Company Heroes, 1 unit of Assault Intercessors, or mix and match? Could that be strong? Would I be wanting to play it? And I actually think it would be pretty good. Volker says Dante is incredible. Yeah, I mean, he essentially has a strength 10 power fist now with AP 3, and he gets 9 attacks, and he's +1 to hit, which is sometimes meaningful, because I was playing against Death Guard this week, and Death Guard are -1 to hit into those, what the hell's the unit called? The Death Shroud Terminators. They're -1 to hit. So Dante's +1 to hit is actually really meaningful, because it was when I was fighting the Death Shroud, he was like, they're -1 to hit, and I'm like, well, Dante still hits you on 2s, and he's like, how? I was like, well, Dante gives the unit he's leading +1 to hit, so your -1, he's cancelling, he hits on 2s, and he's cancelling out your -1 to hit with his +1 to hit, so he still hits on 2s. He was like, ah. And he was... Colin likes to complain about how strong the Blood Angels melee is, and I was like, dude, we're Blood Angels. Melee's literally our thing. You know, you can't really complain about Blood Angels melee. You know, that's what we do. You should, if you're playing Blood Angels, you should be ready to expect that. Sorry, Kane, what's your question? The army I bought is 3 times Death Company Dreadnoughts, 15 Death Company, 5 Terminators, Astrath, a Mephiston.
I have awoken.
Is it worth £105? I mean, 15 Death Company, if they've got jump packs, are going to cost like £60 or £70 anyway. 5 Terminators are like £30 or £40. Characters are like 25 each. I mean, I don't know about 3 Death Company Dreadnoughts. They're likely the old Dreadnought that's been Legend, so they're maybe not going to be worth all that much. But it seems okay for £105. Some people are probably going to collect those old Dreadnoughts, so maybe you can sell them on eBay. Death Guard Terminators are impressively durable. Yeah, I hate that. They're one of the reasons that I end up taking Predator Destructors. William says 90 points is too much, essentially, for that captain. Have you run that fight? Finest Hour Captain, William? I think he's pretty good. Can Dante join a Successor chapter? No, he cannot. Like, if you're fielding Dante, then you're essentially playing Blood Angels, but you can paint them any friggin' way you want now, right? That's the thing they changed in 10th edition, because it used to be if you painted them a specific way, you had to field them with that specific detachment. But they got rid of that, so you can essentially be Lamenters, just paint your Dante a Lamenter's colour, or whatever Successor chapter you are, and just play him as Dante's rules. You know, like, just make up a name for him, dude. Like, just call him... I actually have no idea what the name of the chapter master for the Lamenters is. Let's just call him Bob. So just at the start of the game, say, I'm playing Lamenters, but because the Lamenters have no special characters, then I'm going to use Dante's rules. So essentially I'm Blood Angels, but I'm playing Lamenters, and this is my chapter master. He's called Bob. I mean, that's what I would do. Like, I wouldn't necessarily lose one of the best characters we can have just because I'm Successor, but that's kind of what Games Workshop were trying to do with this edition, right? Because before they didn't like people like painting their army, let's say like painting their army as red, Blood Angels, and then turning up to a tournament and going, oh, I'm Ultramarines, right? They didn't like that. But they consciously tried to get rid of that for this edition, which I think is good, because I didn't like, you know, like some people would then, all that happened was some people made like crazy color schemes so they could run everything. Oh, the Sanguinary Priest is too expensive? Yeah, 90 points for the Sanguinary Priest is way too expensive. I think I might start thinking about him if he was like 65. I mean, like, he was about 100 or 90 points when he had a jump pack, and we know that Games Workshop usually tax us about 25 points to put a jump pack on characters, right? You know, if you look at the Chaplain on foot is 60, the Chaplain with the jump pack is 75, so that's a 15 point tax. The Captain on foot is 80. The Captain with the jump pack is maybe only 85, so maybe it's only a 5 point tax there, but I mean, historically, if we go back through the previous editions, it used to be about a 25 point tax to have a jump pack. That used to be what it was. Hey BA Commander, I'm new to Warhammer and have a good amount of Blood Angels boxes. The Combat Patrol, the Death Company box, the Blade Guard Squad, Sanguinary, Dante, Mephiston. I'm looking to round out my list. Would you recommend the Predator Destructor or the Gladiator Lancer? I wouldn't recommend the Predator Destructor as much as I feel that personally, because it's a Firstborn tank. And I think that Games Workshop will remove all the Firstborn tanks in 11th edition, which is going to be summer 26, right? Because they basically are on this cycle now for like the last decade where new editions come every 3 years. And if we go back over the last few editions, every edition we've lost more and more of those Firstborn units. Basically the original Marines that were not Primaris. They don't call the new Marines Primaris anymore, but that is what's been happening. So that's why we've lost just about every squad of Firstborn or the old Marines. There's very few of them left now. And I think that one of the main things that is left is the tanks, and I think a lot of the tanks will be discontinued in 18 months' time. Malcolm Forrest. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right, but thanks for letting me know. The Ballistus is a great kit because it's an easy to build kit and it's like 11 parts. So yeah, I do like the fact that you can build the Ballistus pretty damn quick. I didn't actually notice the time, so it's 10 past 11. I need to get a few things ready for work in the morning, so I'm going to be here for about 5 more minutes, guys. Yeah, fuck, I've been live 2.5 hours. Time flies when you're having fun, as they say. I'm not here tomorrow night, but I am. I do have a video that will be linked on the community chat tomorrow night. And I will be here for the big ass tactics video on Friday, and then I'll probably be here Saturday night again to do some painting. I'll be here Sunday for the army show. So would I consider adding the lieutenant for lethals and a free fallback and charge? Probably not, right? Because here's the thing, Ghetto Gunfighter. If you need fallback and charge as a stratagem now, and your captain can do that for free. Because your captain gets one stratagem for free every turn, right? So you're paying 65 points for lieutenant, who brings a little bit of extra damage, but then the lieutenant does bring lethal hits, and lethal hits actually counteract your devastating wounds. So I think having played the Assault Intercessors with a captain to a tournament, I think what you want them to be is as cheap as possible. I think that's how I look at them. So I don't know if I hate the idea of adding lieutenant. I don't think it's the worst idea in the world. I just don't know if I feel like it's worth 65 points. I mean, I guess if you get to the end of your list and you've got nothing better to spend 65 points on, adding a lieutenant to a 5-man squad of assault intercessors with a captain is... I mean, I guess the lieutenant could take a power fist. It gives you a little bit more offense on that turn. You leave the impulsor and you do your alpha strike. I just don't know if I think it's worth 65 points. People have asked me about that before. Hello, it's Just Gamble. You could also paint Dante normally and say you protect a brother chapter. I mean, you totally could. I mean, I might even just convert Dante into Malcolm Forrest. I mean, like, he doesn't need to have an axe like Dante. Give him a sword or something. And he is a great model to work on. I've been having so much fun with my Dante. I don't know if you saw him. I've been painting them all day. I've been converting them. Afok, thanks again for the gifted sub. I do appreciate it. I've put this Bloodthirster's head on my Dante's base, and I found an old set of the Sanguinor's wings, the Firstborn Sanguinor's wings, and I've put them on my Dante as well. So my Dante has wings, and he's got this decapitated bloodthirster head, like the one he killed on the Devastation of Baal, right? So like, you would easily convert this guy, give him a sword, give him a spear, make him your chapter master. What weapons does Malcolm Forrest normally carry? Like, I would just convert him totally, and then just when you get to the tabletop, tell your opponent, like, I'm just using Dante's rules for... because that is apparently fine now. Does that make sense? Instead of lieutenant, what about the priest? I mean, the priest's too we've talked about the priest at length on the stream. He's too expensive. He shouldn't be 90 points. He should be 65, probably the same as lieutenant. For some reason, Games Workshop have that Sanguinary Priest crazy costed. I just have no... I think he was good when he had a jump pack. I think on foot he's like very average. He's too slow. He doesn't have good attachment options. Maybe if that priest could attach to the Blade Guard. Give him one of the Sanguinary Guard spears as a spear. Malcolm has a spear. There you go. That sounds awesome. I'd love to see it. Like when you finish converting him, put a post on the Discord. I'd love to see it. That would probably be actually cooler than trying to call him Dante, I feel like. Yeah, I like converting. That's why, you know, like I end up making more work for myself because I've never painted a Bloodthirster's head before. And I'm probably going to do a bang. I'm probably not going to be able to do the best job on the Bloodthirster head. But I think converting models is pretty fun. And I think putting your own spin on some of the models is also pretty fun. So I guess that's what I feel like I've done with my Dante, is put a bit of my own spin on it. Sellers converted his own custom chapter master from the Dante model. Yeah, I mean, I guess the new Dante model is a great base to convert something from, right? I gotta get the 1,000 Suns going. I need to find... I was trying to rope Marius into helping me paint these Blood Angels. I need to find someone to help me get some of these Blood Angels painted. I got too much going on with the Blood Angels. I would like eventually to get to the 1,000 Suns. I really would like to get to them. Alright, I'm going to call it a night in a minute, guys. It's been a fun stream. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you did enjoy the stream at any point, please do consider leaving me a like. A like on any of my YouTube videos actually really does help me out. So, I'm trying to grow to 20,000 subscribers. I'm working on it. We're getting there. I think we're at like 18.3 now. So I think by next summer, maybe not quite as long as the summer, maybe like spring, might be able to get a 20,000. So if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. I'm here every week, and usually multiple times a week. By Christmas there'll be 20,000. I don't think there will be, but I appreciate the vote of confidence. I'm trying. Dude, thanks so much for the super chat. Do appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. Alright guys, you all have a great week. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you probably in the comments on Friday for our controversial tier list. And I'll see you live probably Saturday night, Sunday night as normal. Take care. Have a great evening. Thanks very much for watching. I am still working on that Dante video, so at some point I will finish painting Dante and then I'll get that video out as well. So good night. Take care. See you later. Oh, I just did that whole bit without my microphone on. Are you still there, Volker, or did you leave already? Did you see what I did? I was trying to explain to you how to use Pastebin. You basically just go to Pastebin, you click the green button, you paste in some shit, and you go down here and create paste. It gives you a link to what you just pasted in. And then you can share that. And there's an easy way to share lists without it being massive. That's how I do it anyway. I just saw your message when I came back from washing my brushes. I'm going to bed in like 10 minutes. I might just do... is the paste above correct? I don't see a paste above. Like you go to pastebin.com. You paste any old shit in here, or I don't know why I keep saying that. You put your list in the new paste box, then you just hit create paste. And then whatever, like, this is my list. And then what it puts up here, you could then just like put that into the chat, right? So if you click that link in the chat, you would come to this paste that is my list, essentially. Does that work? You figure it out?
I hope the inn has something to warm me up.
Oh, maybe you can't put a link in the chat. Yeah, but as soon as the stream ends, you could put that in as a comment, or you could go over to the YouTube community page and post that as a comment. That would be fine. So, I mean, I can just end the stream in a minute, but yeah. You got it? Cool. Post it in the Discord, yeah, that's perfect, dude. Yeah, you like the Galaro build, yeah. I haven't played this in ages, but I've been playing this season. I didn't play, like... I actually don't even know what season they're on. I played season 1 and maybe a little bit of, like, season 2 or 3. I hadn't played since Vessel of Hatred. But I put probably more time than I care to admit into Vessel of Hatred. Let me see. I think you can see how many hours you've played. I think you click. I think it's the one where you change your character's full. Like I said, I haven't played a whole lot. It's this one, isn't it? I've played 45 hours this season. Which I guess is quite a lot. I did have a week off work though, so I did play probably like 20 odd hours in the week I was off work because my kids were still at school and stuff like that. But yeah, Crow Arrows has been kind of fun. I actually, like I said, I wanted to be playing Space Marine 2, but thought the PvP wasn't quite there. But this build is ridiculous, so it's like junk, 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 junk. None of those will be upgrades. Actually, I need to do a Tree of Whispers to get an Infernal Shrines token. But I don't have long tonight because I need to go to bed. Probably want to go that way. Yeah, we're on my Whispers. Okay. Yeah, I've completed all the quests for this season, so like I think at this point I think I could be done with the season. I don't really know what goal there is left to do because like I have no quests left. This would only beat the Dark Citadel once, so I could go beat that again, but I need friends to beat that. And because my playtimes are so sporadic, I don't really have friends that play. My brother plays, but I see him like once a week at best. Yeah, some of you are like Battle.net tag in Discord or something, I'll add you. Like I said, I usually only play for like half an hour of an evening. But I actually might be about done with this season, I guess, because like every, like, you know, like it's like unless it's ancestral, the chances of it being an upgrade are like 0. Slay demons while he opens the sarcophagus. I think once you get to a point where like there is no upgrades left to be, or like, I think I did get an upgrade but it took like 5 hours, so I think I'm at the point where like I'm just super difficult for me to actually get loot that's an upgrade. And like this is Torment, this is the hardest difficulty, you know, and it's just like just wiped everything out. I mean, I guess there's some pit levels I haven't beaten yet. I'm supposed to kill shit while I'm standing inside this. Is this what's supposed to happen? I'm not entirely sure.
Every day. Exhausting.
Oh, it's only climbing up thing. Hopefully I'll get one looking for from the tree. Yeah, just for a few minutes, Marius. I just, like I said, I kind of wish that I was still playing Space Marine 2, but I just don't know if I feel like PvP is there. So I've just been, I probably played a little bit too much Diablo this season, but I'm getting to the end of, I don't think I need chest. I don't need boots. Might be able to get a ring that's an upgrade.
Different this one.
Nope. I got 6 cap. It's better than nothing. Oh, this is new. Ooh, I haven't had one of these before. Oh, cool, okay. That's a first. I know I need to finish the Space Marine 2 campaign. I agree. I do agree with you. I should do that. I think, like, if Saturday stream, like the next time I'm streaming and it doesn't go on like super late, I am gonna try and finish the Space Marine 2 campaign, I think. I guess, what's the time? Maybe I've got time to do both, we'll see. And quickly do the Infernal Hordes. I was really enjoying it up until that stupid bugged bridge that we got stuck on for like... I don't know how long we were stuck on that. 2 nights? 3 nights maybe? This build's a little bit crazy, actually. Hello, Bob. How you doing? Yeah, it's not the best. Yeah, if nothing else, like in the Christmas holidays, we should do an op. How long does an op take, Marius? Like I am... My character in this... Oh, there's Butcher. Oh, shit. So my character in this season of Diablo is pretty close to being... Like, I don't think there's too much more for me to do here, right? Like, this is hit... or the Infernal Hordes on the hard, like, this is the hardest difficulty, and like, I think there is still strength in me, like, I can still get stronger than this, but like, to what end, right? Like, I already know most of these things in seconds, like, I mean, I will still get components from this that will let me upgrade my gear and make myself stronger, but the question really is to what end. Well then, we'll arrange to do an operation some night, Marius. We should do it. I was really hoping to get a 10 wave, because you can get items that let you do more waves in here. I guess I got a 6 wave, which 6 is nah. Like 4 is the worst, I guess. But like, I don't have any problems defeating the waves, so the more waves I can do, the better. More XP, more rewards. Good night, Volcar. Yeah, I'm gonna be well. I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna do that. One other thing that said that I could earn a mythic. I've never earned a mythic item yet, Diablo, so we'll do that and go to bed. I'm glad to hear you're happy, Bob. See, that was just the thing for me, like, the thing that keeps me playing a game like that is long term is like PvP. Lots of PvP maps, persistent progression across PvP. I said as much on the forums and I got flamed before it. People just said to me like, oh, you're a noob. But people actually said that they thought I was complaining about PvP because I suck at PvP. And I was like, even if I did suck at PvP, I'd still complain if I felt like the game's going to be stale in like 2 months' time because there's only a few maps and there's not much to do. And like, the graphics are insane, the sound effects are the same, insane, like, you know, I've got nothing bad to say about the, you know, the quality of the product, the quality of the graphics, the overall gameplay. What was sad for me was like the lack of PvP maps and the lack of engaging PvP modes. That's close. Almost died. There's nothing good here. Yeah, well, I think that was my point, like, I played, like, Heroes of the Storm for 9 years, but there was, like, you know, there's progression in that game, because, like, you would go up the leagues, and the maps were more meaningful. I've actually had to like force myself to stop, because normally what I would do is Heroes of the Storm was like my go-to evening game. I've actually had to kind of force myself to stop playing Heroes of the Storm, because if I play Heroes of the Storm then I just don't play anything else. I like Heroes of the Storm, but got a lot of other games I wanted to try. I wanted to try this again, and if I keep playing Heroes of the Storm, then I'll never try anything else. But Heroes of the Storm is a good example, and like, I played the PvP in that for like 9 years. I played like 2 or 3 games, like an hour every night for 9 years. And it never, like I've actually had to force myself to quit it. It never really felt stale. Let's see if we get an upgrade. No. We got like 4 uniques, but doesn't really matter. I got an Ancestral unique. Maybe there's an upgrade to be had here. No. No. Yeah, it's not one away. But yeah, it's pretty much how Diablo goes for me now, is I go in, I kill all the shit. I don't get an upgrade. I disenchant everything and then I just rinse and repeat. And it's been fun for a bit this season, but now it's just like I just go here and just break all this shit down. There's not a single upgrade there to be had. Maybe I've got enough hobby site to masterwork something like that. You know, like, so basically I just increased 2 of my stats by another 5%. Like, I don't even really know why I need to increase stats by 5%. I kill everything super fast. I saw Elon Musk plays Diablo. I saw he was miles ahead of me. I actually don't know how he doesn't get bored. Because I think if I play this for more than like an hour, I start falling asleep because I just kill everything so fucking fast. And I saw, like, this was like just, the season's like 3 weeks old. I honestly saw Elon Musk was he was stronger than where I am now 2 weeks ago. Like, he was miles ahead. Can I put something else? Oh, I can bargain. I'm gonna bargain. I've never done this before. Oh, I've got 65 million gold, so let's do that. 5 million gold. He's in the top 20 in the world. Yeah, he must... I don't know what he does. He must just sit and play a fuckload of Diablo. But yeah, he was stronger than where I am now, like, 2 weeks ago, and the season was only like a week old at that point. So I put in 45 hours, maybe 46 hours, so he'd put in like, at least probably 50 hours in the first week, I imagine. I think possibly a bit more, actually. I think he's been out campaigning for Donald Trump, so I don't know where he found the time to do all that shit. Must be nice being a billionaire. I've never beat this before, so I don't want to fuck this up. I need to kill all the ones that give me additional time, so we make sure we're killing all the time ones. And just sure we're clicking on all these bracery things. I don't want to have to backtrack and lose a bunch of time because I don't know if we're going to have time for that. I'm already down to like 30 seconds. That's just the thing about Diablo is that, like, there's so many things to do at endgame. Fair enough, like, you maybe get to a point like where you're a little bit too strong or the balance is a bit crappy. But at least there's lots to do. almost out of time. Oh, that guy just 15 seconds. Okay. Yay, level 205. See, at this point, my brain is actually, my vision is starting to cloud over a little bit. Like, I don't know where the challenge is where you get this strong in Diablo 4. Like, I remember playing Diablo 2 and it never felt this easy. Why not get everybody there? It got easy eventually, but I don't know if it ever felt like it got this easy. I am low on time here. You never run out of time before. I run out of time, no! Click. Like 17 more seconds for going to the next floor. I'm just gonna have to jump to the ones that give time. Can't afford to do anything. Ah, don't run into a dead end. This guy gets 15 seconds. Go on, quick. I don't think I've got time. I'm just gonna have to do. Oh yeah, the second you click on the portal, time is not a concern. I might have had just enough time. I thought I was going to use the last 17 seconds to kill that boss. Well, I got a boatload of ancestral things. 4. Or any upgrades. Oh, that's a huge upgrade. Holy shit, okay. Yeah, that's a massive upgrade. Alright, cool. Wasn't expecting that. I was going to say that's going to massively improve my damage. Like, do I even need more damage? And I don't know. Okay. Occasionally I play the Warhammer game we made, yeah. Oh, I play a lot of games on my phone from time to time. Right, let's disenchant all that other shit.
Need something forged?
Right. I'm gonna add a socket to that stuff. Gonna unsocket my current stuff. Oh, put my gems into the new one. So the main thing is this takes, when you're at max vigor, your core skills consume all vigor to return full damage cast at the largest size and become critical strikes with 2.8. So it was 31, 170, 77. 31, 178, 77. Let's see what it changes to. Disenchant.
Unexpected. Come back if you need work.
It was 31, 170, 77. It's now 41, 195, 50. So we lost chance for core skills to hit twice. But I'm thinking we just got a lot stronger. So I've never... Thought I'd... Can I go higher than 81? Oh, let's try and beat that 180. Or 81. I guess I'll find out if I have got a lot more damage. I think I'm gonna have a lot more. Yeah, it didn't feel like a lot more actually. It's hard to tell though at this point because you just have like so many numbers on the screen and shit. Yeah, I don't know if that upgrade is as meaningful as I thought it was going to be. I don't know if I could actually beat 81 before. I've never tried it. It's a little too slow. But yeah, I see on 81 there's still like a million that takes way too long still. Okay. I still need to level up. I just don't know what the point is to just get stronger, to just kill harder stuff. Okay, I'm going to bed. Good night.